Great morning, great morning.
Great morning.
Welcome to Miracle Morning Mastermind. We have a powerful topic today. Powerful topic today. Who's live? Who's live?
Live. What's that background though?
All right. Have you ever been in the process of sharing information about what you have to offer? You're doing the activity, but it just feels like you're getting no after no after no. Anybody ever felt like that? Like you're doing the work, but you keep getting no's, or your team members are doing the work, but they keep feeling like they're getting no, 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 or even afraid of no's, concerned about getting no's. So you or a team member just kind of hesitant on the activity or hesitant to reach out to someone because they might say no, and it feels like rejection. It feels uncomfortable, and so have you ever avoided activity because of people maybe saying no, or you felt or your team members are avoiding the activity because they're concerned about getting a no? If you can relate to any of that, today's topic is going to be really powerful for you and something to teach your team members, because we have a very unique strategy when it comes to no's with the Born CEO strategy. Now, there's lots of different strategies and philosophies out there. There's a famous one that is really powerful, and it's called the go for no approach. And the go for no, what I like about the go for no approach is that it's a mindset like, hey, let's set a goal to get 100 no's, for example. And the mindset is, if you go and get 100 no's from people, that means you've gone through enough people that by the time you get to 100 no's, you will have gotten to a whole bunch of yeses in the process, and you build up an immunity to no. It becomes more of a game instead of something to be afraid of. And so there's a book called Go for No, and that approach and that mindset is really powerful. However, that's not the approach that helped me to earn my first $1 million in the business and to help people get past that. So some people don't make it to that yet. It's so uncomfortable for a lot of people that they fall out of the process, or they don't quite embrace it fully, or they avoid it for a long time. So I found another approach that worked much better for me, and I call it the go for yes approach. The go for yes approach. And the go for yes approach is much more attractive, and it got me into more activity than the go for no approach, because I just found a way to get more yeses. Would you agree? For most people, if you could find a way to get more yeses, it would inspire you to do more activity. It's much easier on the ear. It's much a more pleasant experience. It's a path of less resistance. Going for yes is a path of less resistance than the path of going for no. And again, I like that go for no philosophy for the reasons I described. I just found a way that got me into the habit of activity faster than the go for no. The go for no mindset for me was a painful thought. The go for yes mindset was a pleasurable approach for me. And it just got me and a lot of people into activity even faster. So, what is this go for yes approach? It's embedded in all of our systems that we teach with Born CEO. And whenever I hear people saying, man, I'm getting a lot of no's, or teaching in our organization about no's, the question that always comes to me is, where are all these no's coming from? Like, what system are they using that they're getting all these no's, or feeling like they're getting all these no's? They must not be using our system, or they must not understand our system, or they must not be teaching our system. So I was talking to our power team leaders, and Letitia Randolph suggested that be a title for a training. Like, where are all these no's coming from? She's like, you should teach on that. So let's talk about that. Where are all these no's coming from? So in our approach, the Go for Yes a process, for those that know my approach, and I wonder if I could share my screen with an image. I actually have an image that um, kind of brings clarity to what our every organization has an edge. You know, the sports fans here, you all can probably relate to this. Every team, every winning team, they have an edge. They have certain strengths. They have um, a competitive advantage, and they utilize that competitive advantage. And it's different for every single team. Every leader has a different leadership style. So, and a different personality, different strengths and weaknesses. So, whatever the strategy is of their organization is going to be built on the strengths of that leader and the strengths of that team and the competitive edges of that organization. And that's why it's dangerous to compare to what other organizations are doing, because what other organizations are winning with are based on their competitive edge and their strengths. And what your organization is going to win with is going to be based on your competitive edge and your strengths. Same thing with franchises. McDonald's has a different competitive edge than Burger King or In-N-Out Burger. You know, Chick-fil-A has a different competitive edge than Kentucky Fried Chicken or Popeye's Chicken. And if they get too busy focusing on other people's competitive edge, they'll lose their own competitive edge. So, and the key in this business, this is a duplication business. So the key is, and this is important, this might hit you now, it might hit you later, but when it hits you, it's going to make you very wealthy. And that is, the key in this business, you don't have to have a better edge or the same edge as somebody else. The key in this business is getting your team to focus on your edge. It's getting as many people as you can from your team to buy into the same system, and you're gonna go platinum. Period. The key to platinum is getting enough people. If you got a decent system, somebody can even have a worse system than you. But if they get enough people on the team following the same system, they're going to go platinum. And the team members who do the same thing are going to go platinum, not because they had a better system or a similar system as another team, but simply because they got enough people following the same system. So let's see if this image shows. Is this image showing on the screen?
Yes.
This image is one of our competitive edges. This is our competitive edge. This is one of my strengths. And that is taking systems and transformational coaching programs from bad to good and from good to great. So an above average percentage of people can stick around long enough to transform and produce greater results. Isn't that a powerful visual? Bad support systems and transformational coaching programs on the left, that's where people come into business, and there's the bad support systems and transformational coaching programs, and they're saying, "Hey, go platinum, go executive director," and that bridge looks like the one on the left. How to get from where they are to executive director? Isn't that what it feels like sometimes when you don't know a system or don't have a system or don't know what you're doing? That's what it feels like to all the new team members when the system is bad or the coaching and support is bad. It's like, you want me to go executive director and or platinum, and that on that bridge. You want me to cross that bridge on the left. And then the middle picture is what it looks like when an organization has good support systems and transformational coaching programs. It's like, okay, I can see the process, I can see the light. All right, but some people are still scared to death to cross that bridge. Even though it looks kind of sturdy, but there's lots of holes there. I don't want to look down. like, uh, some people would not even cross that bridge, even though it looks kind of sturdy, and you'll probably see other people crossing it. That first bridge on the left, a small percentage of people make it to the other side of that bridge. The second bridge, more people make it across, but it's still kind of scary for a lot of people. What I do is in the third picture, I transform bad systems and training coaching programs and good training and coaching programs into great training and coaching programs. And then all of a sudden people like, oh, I can make it. I can not only can I make it with this ABC 1, 2, 3 system and the coaching that I'm receiving, the transformational coaching to help me work on my identity, my beliefs, but also I can even stop and enjoy the journey. I can look over the bridge without panicking. Like, I feel safe, I feel supported, I feel like the rail guards are up. I feel like I can't really fail once I understand the system. And I want to hear y'all's feedback on that from your personal experience and observation. Um, and so I say that to say this: the go for yes approach is representative of that third bridge. That's the go for yes approach. And so here, what is this go for yes approach? Here's the go for yes approach. There is nowhere in our system, our approaches are specifically designed to reduce the number of no's that a person gets and increase the number of yeses. For example, most people don't realize that when they get a no, it's because they asked a yes or no question. And they're not aware that they're asking yes or no questions. The danger of a yes or no question is that there's a 50-50 chance they're going to tell you no. And the reason why our system is designed, our approach is designed to bypass a lot of the no's is because most people are getting no's too early. And the no can end the process that should not be ending yet. In fact, it turns it into a transaction instead of a process. Yes or no? Hey, would you like to get some information? No. They never even saw the presentation, and somebody's getting a no way too soon. Now, there's a place for getting a no. If you're sorting through large numbers, don't forget what I said about the go for no philosophy. There's a place for that, like high volume, high activity. Hey, I'm going to just go through a lot of numbers in a short period of time. I'm just looking for the people who are looking. There's a place for that go for no approach, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about taking regular people and helping them get into the habit of consistent activity in the most comfortable and effective way possible without freaking them out so early that they never stick around long enough to develop the habit of inviting 2 to 5 new people per day. To me, that go for no approach is a more advanced approach. It's not for the babies, for the new people. So go for yes, and the go for yes gets results, and it's pleasant. So our system doesn't ask a lot of yes or no questions. Give you an example. Would you be willing to give me your feedback on a project I'm working on, and let me know who you think I can help? Even though that's a yes or no question, that question has a 90% success rate of getting a yes. 90% chance of getting a yes. because you're not asking them to buy anything. You're not asking them to join anything. You're not asking them to be interested. It's a referral approach. You're really saying, will you look at something for me and let me know if who you think can benefit from it? Oh, that's an easy yes. 90% chance of getting a yes. And then they say yes, and you send them some information. After they watch the presentation, if you're not following our system and you're getting a no, you must be saying, "Are you interested?" Which means you just switched the approach. You said, "Would you be willing to give me your feedback on a project I'm working on and let me know who you think would benefit?" They said, "Yes, I'll look at something and let you know who I think would benefit." And then they look at it, and now you switch the approach on them, and now you're saying, "Are you interested?" You just switched it up. That's why you're getting a no. You just switched to a go for no approach. But the question was never about, are they interested? Not in our system, not in our approach. So, what's the next step in our approach? The next step in our approach is, what did you like best? That's not a yes or no question. What did you like best is not a yes or no question. There's no room for a no in what did you like best, because the purpose of that question is to specifically designed to find out what were the positive takeaways that they received from looking at the information. So we can now listen for the positive and we can build from there. So, okay, wow, you like the benefits, or you like the opportunity, or you like how people have access, how people have protection. There's going to be a lot of information that comes from that. Now, the next part of our process is, what questions can we get answered for you? What questions can we get answered for you, or was everything pretty straightforward? That's not a yes or no question. So there's no room for a no. And what questions can we get answered for you? That is a professional question that now allows us to hear, where is there a lack of clarity somewhere? Where does this person's level of understanding of what we offer and the value of it, so we can then take their temperature to know where to lead them next in the process. We're not ending the process with a yes or no question. We're moving them through the next step in the process. That's a very important phrase I just shared. We're not ending the process with a yes or no question. We're gauging where they are so we can keep them in the process until they're ready to make a positive decision, because we care enough to serve them until they're ready. We're not letting another person leave their family unprotected with a will, unprotected, unsafe, unsecure. So we're caring enough and serving them enough to keep them in the process until they're ready. That's the foundation of this Go for Yes approach. We're keeping them in the process until they're ready, not ending it with a yes or no. So the next part in the phase is taking their temperature. Great. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not interested at all, and 10 being ready to get started, where would you say your interest level is on a scale of 1 to 10? That's not a yes or no question. Even if they say I'm a 1, 1 being not interested at all, that's still not a no, because we have a response to that. Oh, right now my interest level is a 1. Okay, great. What would it take for you to go from a 1 to a 9 or a 10? You see, everything is keeping them in the process. Oh, you know what? What a professional question to ask me. Okay, well, what would it take for me to go from a 1 to a 9 or 10? That question allows us to find out what the real concern is, so we can actually address the real concern and continue serving that person, versus ending the process never even knowing why they feel like a 1 right now, never even finding out how we can serve them better by engaging that question. But when we ask that question, now they go, Oh, well, really, it's the timing right now. I'm in between jobs and finances are low, or this happened. Da, da, da. So now we're actually finding out, oh, that's why they're saying a 1 out of 10. It's way more informative than asking them a yes or no question like, are you interested? And it's way more pleasant. So now we're finding out what that real concern is so we can actually serve them better. And now we know what the next step is. If somebody's a 1 or a 2 or a 3, the next step isn't getting them signed up. The next step is solving whatever concern or problem that they have. And it may not be anything to do with the business. They might need prayer, they might need a resource. Oh, you know what? I know somebody who's hiring right now. They might need a recommendation. It might be something in their life that's keeping them from being ready that has nothing to do with the business. And so it gives us a chance to serve them on a higher level. So the scale of 1 to 10, they might say, hey, I'm a 7 on a scale of 1 to 10. Great. What would it take for you to go from a 7 to a 9 or 10? It doesn't matter what they say. 0, -12. Great. What would it take for you to go from a -12 to a 9 or a 10? And you can have fun with this. They can have fun with this. It's a pleasant conversation, and you find out what the real concern is. And so if a person's like, yeah, I just, bad timing right now. I need to talk to my spouse first, or whatever the case may be. It gives us as professionals an opportunity to say intelligent things like, oh, so if we can help solve that, would you be ready to get started? If we can help solve that concern, would you be ready to get started? Oh yeah, I'm interested in your opportunity, but I don't know that I know enough people to be successful. I would have never known that if I just asked a yes or no question. If I just went for no, I would have never gotten that information to be able to serve them better. But because I went for yes, and saying, okay, what is it? Oh, well, I don't think I know enough people. I'm very interested. I like what I see. I'm inspired, but I don't think I know enough people. Watch this. So if we showed you a way to never run out of people, would you be ready to get started? Oh, well, yeah, great. Because we teach you exactly what you need to know to never ever run out of people every Thursday night. Let's get you started. Well, I don't get paid until Friday. Oh, if we had said are you ready to get started, that person might have said no. And because we didn't ask the right questions, we didn't find out that just meant I don't get paid till Friday. So I'm just saying no right now. So we got to ask intelligent questions. So I think you all are catching the picture. There's nowhere in our process that's designed to get a bunch of no's. That's a very if you're getting no's, you haven't been using our process. If your team members are getting no's, they haven't been fully using our process, which means they probably don't understand the process. And this video, I'm going to put this out on the YouTube channel so that you can utilize this to help train your team on our philosophy. And finally, at the end of the process, let's say somebody's like, yeah, thank you for all that, but it's just not for me right now. That's still not a no to me because I'm going to ask the ultimate question that goes right back to the beginning question. Would you be willing to refer me to people if it ever makes sense? And guess what? 9 out of 10 times, the answer is not no, it's yes. And that, my friends, is the go for yes philosophy. Ricky Smith, I saw your hand up. And everybody, I want to hear from you all from that diagram and what you just heard. What were your biggest takeaways? Take it away, Mr. Smith.
Good morning, all. Richard Smith, North Louisiana, Bell Power Team. I'm the executive director maker, and I'm in the process of mastering the process of going to the next level. And this training is worth hearing it more than once. So I'm glad I was on the live I'm going back and hear it again because it was life changing and very relatable.
You said, and, oh, did we lose him? All right. Let's show some love for Ricky
About
Smith. About
so.
to take it. Oh, go ahead, sir.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
You said very life changing, and
Yeah, it's life changing, and I was saying that when you go for yes, you focus on the yes, and you get more of what you focus on. And when you focus on no, yes, you'll get some yes, but which one do you want? I know I want more yes, so I'm about to focus more on the focus on yes. Focus on no works, and but I believe I'm gonna get what I focus on, so I'm about to focus on going for yes. And also with the bridges, the one thing I would like to ask is great that we have a great system that works. The other two is shaky, unstable, and when you're double-minded, you're not going to succeed most of the time. So how do you get the courage from going graduate from you have this C bridge, but you're graduating from the other bridges. You're comfortable using the other bridges, and that's what you used to do. So how would I go from being nervous of seeing the other bridges because I know I have a new system from the third bridge? Thank you.
love it, love it. Was that a question or just a statement?
Here's a question. I was saying, how do I build the coverage to go? I know I have the correct system. I have the correct support. I have everything I need. But from past beliefs, past experiences, past
Oh, got
bridges,
it.
thank you.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I think it was evident in how you responded to today's training. You said this was life changing for me. I'm glad I was on here live and I'm going to listen to it over and over again. Was I hearing, correct me if I'm wrong, you were feeling more confident and
Yes,
more
sir.
reinforced with the third bridge and replacing some of your old experience with the other two bridges. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Or no? Correct me. I could be wrong.
No, that is absolutely correct. Yes, sir. I agree.
Okay, yes. So you're already doing it. Just staying. See, this is if you notice, it says support systems and transformational coaching programs. What a lot of people miss is that what we're bringing is both. I could give you the system. The system was there the whole time. But what you got this morning was some transformational coaching around the system. And now when you combine the two, I've got the sturdy bridge, and now I'm receiving the transformational coaching to change my thinking, to change my old beliefs, my old thoughts. Transformational coaching is about actually transforming old beliefs to new beliefs, old thinking to new thinking, old emotions to new emotions, and old habits to new habits. Personal development does not equal transformational coaching. I could read a book over and over again and still not change my beliefs. I got the information in my head, but my beliefs are still the same. There's no transformation. I've got the information in my head, but my thinking is still the same. There's been no transformation. Even though I've been listening to the training every single week for 5 years, I can still, I can hear the same, I can hear new trainings, read new books, all of that. But if it doesn't transform something inside of me, the transformation has not occurred yet. That doesn't mean there's not value in attending the trainings and reading the books. Those seeds are being planted, but the problem is there's some old rocky ground that needs to be cultivated, to be tilled, to be broken up so that those seeds can reach the good soil of your mind and the transformation can now take place. So, what I do with transformational coaching is not only give you the system that's separate from the transformational coaching, I help break up the old beliefs, the old thoughts, the old emotions, and the old habits and move that debris away so we can get to the good soil. And that takes time and patience that most people don't have when building an organization of people. Most people either don't have the time, the patience, or the awareness. So they just go, people need to work harder. People need to work harder. Why aren't you working harder? Just do more activity. I'm trying to do more activity, but I'm hitting a brick wall. And it's because I have these boulders, this rocky ground that needs to be cultivated. And so I'll figure it out. Give me enough time. I'll figure it out. But if somebody could come along from the outside in and help me break up this rocky ground of my mind, these old beliefs that have been installed for 10, 20, 30 years, old beliefs, thoughts, emotions, and habits. If somebody could help me chisel away, if somebody could grab a jackhammer and help break up that hard ground so I could get to the good soil, then all the seeds that I've been gathering from books and trainings and events can finally start to get to the good ground and take root. And that's where the transformation begins. So that was a long response to a short question. Is you're already doing it, my friend. Stay in an environment where you feel like the old beliefs, thoughts, and emotions are getting chiseled away and broken down so that we can get to that good soil and start developing new habits. And that's where all the transformation takes place. And the leader in you that nobody ever knew was there or never saw will emerge, and you start tapping into that seven-figure version of you and beyond. So let's show some love for Mr. Ricky Smith, everybody.
All right, Ricky. Yes.
Woo
I
woo.
know.
All
I'm like,
right, Ricky.
man.
All right. Who's next? I don't know if anybody's hand is up. It's not
Mine
showing me
is
the
a
screen.
quote. It's Faith Abraham. I am an executive director, and I am an executive director maker. And I know that because yesterday or day before, I had an opportunity to speak with two associates and able to share something similar to what you shared this morning, and talked about how all the work that goes into breaking up the ground before farmers even plant the seeds. There's a multitude of work. And I share that. And so I know that what's being poured into me is equipping me to be poured into others. But specifically speaking to the initial part of what you shared this morning, it took me in my mind to Revelations chapter 2 in the Bible. And in that section of the Bible, it talks about returning to your first love. And I started thinking, this is back to the basics. Sometimes we lose hold to the foundational things that transport us, just like this bridge you're illustrating, from where we are to where we need to be. And
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Somebody's not on mute. Go ahead.
Okay, right. And in that passage of scripture, it goes on to say that when you lose your first love, in other words, you're no longer doing the initial things that brought you joy, brought you peace, brought you prosperity, brought you success, brought you into alignment. It says your candlestick gets moved. And that's what came to my mind when you have been teaching us about targeting on who to focus on our team. It's those that don't want their candlestick moved. So they're doing what they're returning to their first love. In other words, we're back to the basics. We're sticking with the basics that lay the foundation for us to build something beautiful and kingdom worthy. And we can't get discouraged when the ground is being plowed, when the foundation is being poured, when the structure is being built. We just have to stay in there and see what the end is going to be. I'm gonna land my plane.
So good. Everybody, unmute, make some noise for Miss Faith Abraham. Whoop, whoop.
Woo
Very
woo.
good.
Good
Thank you
group.
so
All right,
much,
Miss Faye. Preach.
Yes, yes, Miss Faye.
Was there
Abraham.
another hand up?
I wanna share something, Coach.
Yes, sir.
This is Glenn Strotter, Sacramento, California. I'm an executive director and an executive director maker. Um, Wonderful teaching. It reminded me that the system has everything built into it because you said it allows us to to keep the prospect on the journey that we start when we start talking to them. And in the process, we're actually creating a relationship with them. So get them an opportunity to trust along the way. So the way it's set up, I get to keep finding out more about them, and they get an opportunity to lean a little more into trusting me and what I'm saying because they're intelligent questions. So yeah, I get it. So thanks.
Yes, you do. Let's make some noise for Pastor Glenn Strotter. Whoop, whoop.
That was
Pastor
a
Glenn.
very
Good.
insightful point. That was very
Thank
insightful.
you. Yes.
I'm gonna leave us with this in this whole go for yes mindset because
Appointment.
at the end of the day, results is the name of the game. Results is the name of the game at the end of the day. And so where do the results come in, coach? Well, when you start utilizing this go for yes approach effectively, what you'll find is that you're actually not only are you building a relationship, but you're more quickly getting to the root of what is keeping that person from a yes and addressing it more quickly to lead to the yes. And you're moving that person up every step of the way on a scale of 1 to 10. They're going from a 2 or 3 to a 4 or 5. You're getting them some more information. Some of them just need more information. They need more. You can tell by the questions that they didn't understand a part of the product. That's more information about that part of the product or whatever aspect they didn't understand about the opportunity. So you're just getting them more information and then scheduling a time to reconnect. The follow-up process is built in, but you're actually more quickly getting to the yes. And then when a person's at an 8 or higher, especially if it comes to the opportunity, then the 4-question close kicks in. So let me ask you something. I could tell that, once you could tell that you've moved away most of their concerns and they're like, oh, okay, wow, yeah, then I don't really have any more concerns. Then now they're like an 8 or higher on a scale of 1 to 10. And our system says use the 4-question close that we learned from Eric Worre. And that 4-question close has worked for me for 26 years without fail. If you were to get started on a part-time basis, how much income per month would make this worth your time? Question 2, how many hours per week realistically can you put towards working with us? Question 3, how many months would you allow us to coach you until you got to that consistent income level? And then question 4, you ring up the order just like a drive-through restaurant, just like a restaurant. So we can help you put together a plan to earn that amount of income per month, working those number of hours per week, and that time period of months. Would you be ready to get started? I've never in my memory pulled up to a drive-through or a business restaurant, ordered exactly what I wanted. They repeat me back the order and say, did we get it back right? So they tell me to order back and I say, no, I don't want what I just told you I want. 9 out of 10 times. The answer is, oh, yes, if you can show me how to get exactly what I just told you that I want, yes, I'm ready to get started. And that completes the go for yes. That's more on the recruiting side for those that are looking for opportunity and family. There's never been a time greater where more people are looking for legitimate work from home opportunity that has withstood the test of time, that is continuing to pay out, that is continuing to add tremendous value. We have an obligation to go show people not only that there's an opportunity to provide for themselves and their families in these uncertain times, but that we have the solid bridge for them to cross over from where they are to where they truly desire to be. And we've got the coaching and the support to help them every step of the way. Now let's go serve somebody today. Let's go for yes and make the difference that we're blessed to make. Love you all. Have a great day.
You too. Love you.
What time is it?
Ring
Ring
time.
Ring
time.
time.